There's Sawinski on the challenge for Strike FC. She netted a goal early on against USYS yesterday. A nice finish, finishing across the keeper. A through ball found her in the left corner. Some nice foot skills. She was able to do the rest. A strike on the frame there from Kurzban, but it's over the woodwork and out for a goal kick. "1-0 the lead for KC Metro Dynamo here in the 5th minute of this championship match. KC Metro Dynamo play a 4-3-3. Strike FC Premier going with a more conventional 4-4-2 look as far as their formation is concerned. Ball won out of the air there by Reynolds. Possession Kansas City here in the early going. Not much going toward the Strike FC net. Roberts just can't find her footing, but now retains possession. Fisher back to Dodd, and out for a throw.
Adria, you're picking up here. No.
Just skip all that green field. That's when you know you need to push in a little bit more. And do it slow. Don't you know. Okay. Other than that, it's good.
Get up back.
First movement into the attacking third here for Strike FC, as they were a victim of conceding a goal off a throw yesterday to USYS. Up 2-0 on that one. A flip throw from USYS made it 2-1. That came with about 6 minutes remaining in that match, but able to hold on for Strike FC Premier. The throw awarded to White. Roberts has done well there to shield, looking to switch fields here. And easy work there for Carpenter in net for KC Metro Dynamos. A shot on net nearly finds the back post. Off the left boot of Zock. But it's wide of the post for a goal kick. Zock yesterday had to come off in the first half. Took an elbow to the face. But good to see her back on the pitch today.
Shot on net nearly
appearing healthy and making a nice run there for Strike FC. Near equalizer there. Kansas City leads 1-0 here in the 9th minute. Prodzinski plays through to Kute. Kute, a shot on goal and nearly finds the back of the net. Past a diving Lentz. It's out for a goal kick. A nice strike from distance there from Jamie Kute. Kute next year in the fall will head off to Marquette University to continue her soccer career at the collegiate level. So playing just down the road from her future college here in Appleton, Wisconsin. Marquette being in Milwaukee, just a few hours south. Dodd. Talked to Coach Listina for Strike FC yesterday. Said he replayed that semifinal over and over in his head. Just thinking about today and how tactically his Strike FC team could make adjustments and attack this KC Metro Dynamos team that has the capability from finding the back of the net anywhere within the attacking third. We've already seen it once today as they lead 1-0. Across into the box, who wants it? Kurzban plays it off. And a shot into the hands of Lentz off the foot of Reynolds. So Strike FC has settled down a little bit here. But possession mostly favoring the KC Metro Dynamos throughout the first. So Roberts heads it out of the air. It's played to the corner. Without a play by McCourt. Out for a throw for White. This KC Metro Dynamo team cruised through the group stage. Did not allow a goal until the first half of yesterday's semi. Won 4-0 in the opener. Back on Saturday against Cleveland United. 5-0 against Dakota Revolution of Minnesota on Sunday in Game 2. And then 3-0 against another Ohio team, Cleveland FC, on Monday to close out and clinch the stage. They would love to return to nationals. They'll have about a month off, get a chance to recover. Nice flick on here as the through ball is played for Munt, but clearing her line nicely is Carpenter. Strike FC likes to play through that midfield with their two center midfielders, Sabrina Dupay and McKenna Vento. The matchup that we have our eyes on today is in that midfield with two center mids, Strike FC's McKenna Vento, who I just mentioned headed to Cleveland State next year, and Parker Roberts at the defensive center midfield position for the KC Metro Dynamos. A shot on there by Dupay is gobbled up. Strike FC definitely wants to neutralize Parker Roberts, a U20 women's national team player. She's really the glue in that midfield, a team that features three center midfielders. Prodzinski in the corner. Defended by McCourt. Turning is Kute. A chance on here and shot wide by Kurzban. Kurzban had a good look at it just inside the 18, but couldn't strike it low enough to put it on the framework. So 3 great chances early for the KC Metro Dynamos. Only a couple of half chances so far for Strike FC. Ball is won by Dodd as she dumps it forward. Prodzinski, first touch, misjudges it, but wins it back. Played in for Roberts, now Prodzinski. looking for a cross. Kurzban over on the right side. Dodd lofts it into the box. Prodzinski is there, puts a head on it off the crossbar, but she's offside as the flag goes up. The assistant referee saw it all the way as Prodzinski just past that last defender. A nice cross in from Dodd, but Prodzinski just overzealous there past the back line. Out for a throw to Reynolds. Checking to the ball is Disador. And lost there as Munton on the challenge, but it escapes her out of play. 1-0 the lead on an early Brooke Prodzinski goal for the KC Metro Dynamos. As we're here in the 16th minute. Munt switches fields. Sawinski trying to run onto it and losing her footing as it's Dodd to clear. The Strike FC team played a very physical match yesterday against USYS. The team in KC Metro Dynamo, a very tactical, technical team, very good foot skills. 1 through 11 in their starting lineup. They look to exploit that physical advantage. Coach Rob Listina for Strike FC did say he did feel like his team was out physical yesterday. But they were still able to come out on top due to a pair of goals to push them out to a 2-0 lead. The deficit here today, trailing 1-0. Roberts has done well to win it out of the air. There's Munt settling it down. And Palo's shot is blocked at the 18. A whistle and a free kick awarded to Strike FC. And to take the set piece is the center back, Sydney McCourt. McCourt headed to Cleveland State next year, also received interest from nearby University of Wisconsin-Madison. Very controlled player. The best taker of free kicks. Lofts it into the box and headed away by Roberts. Roberts steps up and wins it but gives it away. Ball played to the corner for Munt, but over the byline. Dupay with the right idea, but just a little bit too much pace on that ball. Perhaps some jitters for Strike FC, looking to do something they have never done before. And going to nationals, winning a regional title. You can tell that KC Metro is playing very, very loose. Head coach Derek Shore harping on them before the game, saying enjoy the moment. Think about all the teams that started this weekend, and only 2 are left. We have a chance to make some history here. A shot by Vento finds the back of the net. Vento goes upper 90 off the fingertips of Carpenter. And Strike FC equalizes. McKenna Vento, talked about her in the midfield. Her battle with Parker Roberts is essential for Strike FC to win here today if they want to advance on. And the upper hand there goes to Vento and Strike FC, and we're even at 1. So that should get rid of the jitters. Now we have a match on our hands. Second straight game that Kansas City has conceded an early goal. They conceded 2 in the first day. We're able to make up for it with a fair kick. Kansas City ranked number 1 in the state of Kansas. Came in as the number 4 ranked team in this region. But they've played as well as anybody else that has come here to Appleton, Wisconsin for this Region 2 competition. This Region 2 comprised of 14 different states, 14 state cup winners, 2 wild card teams from the Midwest Regional League selected. And both of these teams playing their way to the final. Tied at 1 about 20 minutes in. Since that early high press caused some problems for Strike FC, to maintain possession here in the last 10 minutes or so, and it led to the equalizer. Roberts switches fields, plays to the flag. There's Fisher, the Ball State University commit. And cleared away by McCourt. Sawinski dangerous. Played to Munt. She's in. Carpenter out nicely off her line. Palo with the strike. And Munt can't knock it down, and Carpenter able to run it. Sawinski, you can see, very ambitious left side playing up top for Strike FC. She can cause some problems for that back line of Kansas City. You can see it early on here in the first 20 minutes. This game will be won in the central midfield. The trend right now is in favor of Strike FC due to the play of Sabrina Dupay and McKenna Vento. But Kansas City really likes to flood that central midfield with Disador, Roberts, and Kurzban. Let's see if they can gain back the advantage here as they have a free kick. Set piece from about 40 yards out. Cassidy Lentz, the Strike FC keeper, directing traffic. And a ball played softly for Kute, and it skims off the crossbar for a goal kick. Brilliant chance there, as Kansas City lining up as if they wanted to attack the back post. But a nice flat ball played from Roberts to Kute. Allowed Kansas City to steal the lead right back. We're even here in this championship game, 1-1. This U18 Girls Championship for the right to move on to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Last season, this Kansas appeared in nationals, lost in the semifinal. The ball played for Palo. And Palo pressures, but Linda Fiorito knocks it off Palo over the byline. This Kansas City team lost Virginia in the semifinals of the Nationals last year. A very experienced group. They've been together since their U13 days, so 5 or 6 years now. Great camaraderie. You can really see it in the way they play, the way they keep their shape. Very harmonious in the way their brand of football. Disador content to play the way she faces. Parker. Parker in the central midfield. Taking on Dupay. Fisher looking for a cross. Fisher knocks it in, and Coutey is there on the receiving end. Coutey tackled hard on a strong challenge by Dupay. Reynolds plays Prodzinski. Prodzinski turns. Shot, and it's off the right foot of Kurzban, as she nearly found the back of the net, but it's out for a corner. So the danger not averted yet for Strike FC here on this attack. As the corner to be taken by Katie Sullivan. Sullivan, an Indiana State Sycamore to be in the fall. As white shirts loading that back post. Sullivan boots it in. And a relatively uneventful set piece there as Strike FC wins possession. As substitutes for midfield for Strike FC, a very, very deep team. As Natalie Schmidt, Ream to come in on the next whistle. Palo through the midfield. Down the line, but nobody there for Strike FC. Roberts challenged hard there by Dupay, and the ball goes bounding toward the end line. As Lentz is there without much problem. The whistle there as Munt swung the leg up top. Not a dirty challenge, but a free kick out of the back line here for Kansas City. Substitution here for Strike FC. It's Ream on for Palo. And Schmidt relieves her sister Catherine Schmidt. So Schmidt for Schmidt and Ream for Palo. Palo gets a nice rest after she ignited a couple of counters for Strike FC. So here's Ream with her first touch. Vento switches fields for Sawinski. Still hasn't been able to break free yet for a true chance. You've got to believe her time will come. Sawinski, the very talented forward for Strike FC Premier, does an excellent job playing with her head up. If she doesn't score one herself, you can bet that she'll likely create a chance for Strike FC at some point today. Reynolds. Here's Kute. And a nice challenge there by Munt to win it for Strike FC. Schmidt with a full head of steam. Tackled by Kurzban. And Kansas City able to win it. A goal in the 20th minute by McKenna Vento. Even this game for Strike FC. After a rocky start, a goal in just the 2nd minute by Brooke Prodzinski. A half an hour in. 15 to play here until intermission. Since the first 10 minutes, it's been very back and forth, even as far as possession is concerned. Disador with space. And another hard challenge by Munt. And arms go flailing from Jamie Kute. Unsure of what the intentions were there of Sydney McCourt. 2 substitutions in for Kansas City. As in for the first time is Sarah Tyler. Taking a seat as Reynolds. Kelsey Fisher also takes a break as Emily Griffin comes in to relieve her up top. So both teams utilizing 2 substitutions late here in the first half. Get their starters a breather before halftime. First touch for Tyler. A 1-2 ball with Roberts. And well defended there by Ream. Very interesting that this Kansas City team is really an anomaly. Have multiple age groups, both boys and girls in some cases. But for Kansas City, Metro Dynamos that you see here in white, the only team within their club. The whistle against Roberts. Leads to a free kick for Strike FC. Strike FC has been fantastic in creating chances here in this regional so far. Coming in, as here's Sawinski, 9 different goal scorers in 4 games. Sawinski, a shot on net is blocked and out for a corner. Coach Rob Listina raved about his team, making great runs in the final third. And just being unselfish in front of the net, that's led to the diversity in goal scores. As here's Ream with a rip and headed out of the air by Vento and over the crossbar. She had a good look at it, a chance to volley it home, with Carpenter able to flick it off her fingertips, and Vento not able to find the frame. So there are those chances we're talking about for Strike FC. Really a very different group up top for Strike FC. You've got some with speed like Sawinski, others with power, others with great foot skills. But to be quite honest with you, really all of them are sort of a triple threat in that sense. Speed, foot skills, intelligent up top. They're in the final for a reason. We're even at 1 here as we approach halftime. Disador playing through the back line. Disador, another one of those players in the midfield that's very crucial for Kansas City. Very aggressive in winning balls out of the air. Even though she's only 5'4", 120 pounds. Not diminutive in any sense, but definitely not the biggest player, especially when you're playing in the same midfield as Parker Roberts, who's 5'7". Really has a great frame for soccer. As a substitution on here is Olivia Hively to check in. Up top, Munt. Munt a little bit frustrated as she comes over to the sidelines. Hasn't had any true chances yet. But the Strike FC team has continued to push forward. As a whistle here, we may need the training staff out. As parents a bit unhappy over there on the Kansas City sideline. From our vantage point, can't tell who's down. Well, she's having trouble getting up as Derek Shore comes out to tend to his player. 1-1, we're equal here in this championship. U18 girls final. About 10 minutes out from halftime. We remind you, this broadcast today wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, Capri Sun, Kohl's, Liberty Mutual Insurance, Mango, Nestle, Nike, Olive Garden, NSCAA, Sports Authority, and Wilson. A tough moment here for Isabel Kurzban, as she's carried off by Prodzinski and Disador. Not able to walk on her own power as she's favoring that right ankle. Invisible pain, and her teammates come out off the bench to support her. That would be a tough loss for Kansas City, as by the looks of it, she won't be returning here today. The Overland Park, Kansas native, headed to Truman State next year, a very versatile athlete. In high school, played volleyball, a bowler, and also a green belt in karate. But the versatility of Isabel Kurzban may be absent from this Kansas City lineup unless they can advance on to the Nationals for the rest of the season. In to relieve her is Madison Holmes. Holmes also an Overland Park, Kansas native. St. Thomas Aquinas High School. So Kansas City will have to rely on her in the midfield the rest of the game likely, with Isabel Kurzban receiving medical treatment over here off to the left of us on the bench. Could be a turning point in the game. Will it light a fire under Kansas City, or will it lead to an advantage for Strike FC, with Kansas City without one of their top central midfielders? Prodzinski wins the challenge. Crosses it in. Roberts in the vicinity, but right into the hands of Cassidy Lentz, the keeper for Strike FC. Still even at 1. These two teams exchanging scoring opportunities. But since the 20th minute when McKenna Vento made it 1-1, tying the game for Strike FC. No goals have been scored in this one. Here's Sawinski with a run. And a sliding tackle there from Griffin. Well done there from Griffin. Came on in the middle of this first half and defended nicely there. Griffin will go to University of Central Missouri next year. And saved a scoring opportunity there for Strike FC. But it's out for a corner. A low cross played in, and it nearly finds the back post where Vento was waiting. They couldn't get a foot on it, and it's out for a goal kick. About 5 minutes remaining, with likely 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time added on due to the injury to Kurzban. Roberts gives it away, and it's won by Dupay in the midfield for Strike FC. You can see the physicality starting to pick up here. Kansas City none too happy about the injury to Kurzban. Strike FC used to that, though. Again, played that very physical game yesterday against Lou Fuse. Really an interesting game as far as the circumstances. Some games rained out on Monday afternoon. Caused a couple of the fields to be unplayable. So had to move over to one of the back of that semifinal game. And it was actually a smaller field that typically you see U13 levels play at. So it led to a more compact field, less space to operate, and more physicality. Substitute on now is Alexis Longmore to come in. Longmore comes in up top. And that allows Julia Zock to receive a break. There's McCourt looking to switch fields and ignite the attack for Strike FC. Disador by Vento. Dupay. Now Roberts with space. Shielding off Dupay. To the corner for Prodzinski. She runs onto it and shields it away. There to Schmidt holding her ground, but Prodzinski with some space to operate. Prodzinski rips a shot, but blocked by McCourt. The ripped wide. Both of these coaches with very impressive resumes. Derek Shore in his coaching career with 15 state cup titles. Has only won the regional 2 title once. One national title. He won a national title with the U23 team a few years back. He's also named the 2013 Region 2 Coach of the Year. He may have a strong case for it again this year if his Kansas City team can pull out a victory here today. With each team conceding a goal here in the tournament so far, this being their 5th match, both teams have allowed 3 goals apiece. Pretty impressive for both of these back lines. Tyler rips it in the box. Prodzinski there on the receiving end, but it's cleared out as Hayes gets a foot on it. Here's Disador. Laid off for Roberts. Tries a shot, but Dupay is there to block it with her head. Prodzinski continuing to be physical, pressing the back line up top. There. She's whistled for a foul. Here's McCourt, a very heady center back. Sullivan to Disador. Dodd. Now Roberts. Roberts played that flag down the right side, but McCourt has been stellar back there defensively as Schmidt clears it out of play. Looked like Kansas City was destined to dominate this game early, but Strike FC has responded nicely, and we're equal at 1. Halftime is just moments away. That ball not played with much pace by Fiorito, as Roberts looking to counter here for Kansas City. Well pressured there up top by Sullivan. Shields it off well, and it's out for a goal kick. Sullivan has been solid back there. A very smart soccer player, also very smart in the classroom. Took 9 AP classes in her high school career. That's tough for me to even wrap my head around. To not only play club soccer at a high level, but also 9 honors level classes, or really college level classes. Pretty impressive. Before Sullivan heads off to Indiana State, she would like a trip to nationals. That's what her team, Kansas City Metro Dynamo, are playing for here today. Couttet relentless up top. The chance here, a shot on net and saved by Lentz. Couldn't keep it away from the keeper enough. Finish across to the back post, but just struck it into the middle of the framework. Looking to counter now is Strike FC. Here's Hively. And Hively has it deflected out for a corner. So 4 or 5 corners here in half number 1 for Strike FC. They haven't been able to convert yet, but continuing to push the ball forward is Ream out in the far corner to take it. Blue shirts evenly dispersed on the front post and the back post as they wait to make their run. Ream plays it in, and Dupay had a head on it. It's deflected back in. Who wants it? Griffin is there, headed out of the air, and saved by Carpenter. Griffin, a nice piece of defending for Kansas City. And she's able to win a throw just before the halftime whistle. That throw won't occur as we go to halftime with the score: Kansas City Metro Dynamos 1, Strike FC Premier 1, as a second-minute goal from Brooke Prodzinski made it 1-0 Kansas City, but with the equalizer was McKenna Vento in the 20th minute for Strike FC as we go to halftime. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment and recap the first half with some highlights for you here in this U18 Girls Region 2 final. Halftime here in the U18 girls final in this Region 2 championship game. It's 1-1 between the Kansas City Metro Dynamos and Strike FC Premier out of Wisconsin, as both teams flop sides. And the winner to be determined here of Region 2 in just 5 minutes with extra time if needed. Starters back out onto the pitch for both teams. Strike FC kicks off in blue. They attack right to left here in the second half, and Kansas City in the white kits to move left to right. In here alongside producer Ryan Kozlowski, the man in charge of all the streams you see here today on the U.S. Youth Soccer website, due to the Tourbo Sports Group, and that's headed by Chase Neidig. We're equal at 1 after a second-minute goal for Kansas City by Brooke Prodzinski for Kansas City. And then the equalizer came in the 20th minute off the right foot of McKenna Vento for Strike FC. Again, this game will be one we have our eyes on. You should have your eyes on as well. It's between Vento, who I just mentioned for Strike FC, tallying the brace for Strike FC in the 20th minute, and Parker Roberts, who you see here, controlling the ball out of the air in the midfield for Kansas City. Those two players likely to play an integral role for both of their teams' chances of winning this Region 2 championship. Reynolds squares it up, and Sawinski clears for Strike FC. Here's the dangerous Roberts. The back post it goes, and Prodzinski gets ahead on it, who pushes it wide to the back post. 2 minutes into the second half, 1-1 between Kansas City and Strike FC. A big blow in the first half came around the 30-minute mark when Isabel Kurzban, the center midfielder for Kansas City, able to continue. Still on the bench, is relieving her as Madison Holmes in the midfield for Kansas City. Still over with her right ankle elevated as Kurzban, unlikely to return. It's out for a corner for Kansas City. You can really tell that this Kansas City team expected to be in this spot, but not only expecting to be here in the regional final, they expect to get nationals, where they finished third last year. No celebration yesterday, really, for the girls when they beat Iowa 5-2. It was all business and on to the next one was their mentality. The corner played in for Kute, and Prodzinski is there, and nearly struck into the back of the net by Holmes, but just over the crossbar. Holmes asked now to play a big role in that midfield, the only player on this team without a college commitment. And 17 of the 18 girls on this Kansas City team set to play college soccer next year. 13 of those to play Division I. Very impressive resume for this Kansas City team. Two very different messages at halftime in the huddles for both teams. Rob Lestine a little bit more fiery than Derek Shore in his halftime messages. The sentiments from Derek Shore a little bit more calm. The girls remaining very positive on the sideline for Kansas City. Lots of feelings of, we got this. A couple of murmurs of, we need to play a little faster, get the ball moving more, and connect more. As here's Holmes. A giveaway to the back line of Strike FC. There's Vento, the lone goal scorer for Strike FC. Over the top for Zock. Zock seeking an angle. And saved nicely off the cross by Carpenter. Carpenter, a Southwest Baptist University commit. Again, has only allowed 3 goals in this being the 5th game. Kute. Back for Reynolds. A hard challenge there by Schmidt, and it's taken away by Roberts. It's not surprising, really, that the message was positive from Derek Shore at halftime. He has a very positive demeanor. Very personable coach. Very gracious in taking the time to talk with us yesterday. Sharing a lot of insight, learned a lot about the game of soccer and also his Kansas City team. His mantra throughout his illustrious coaching career is constantly telling his players today is the most important practice, or in the case of today, the most important game of your life. As Kute shoots it wide. Taking that mentality into every single day has paid dividends for this Kansas City team. As if that really were the approach, if every single day is the most important practice of your life, they shouldn't be starstruck, and obviously they're not being on this stage before here in the final. Roberts. Kute, back post ball, finds nobody. Palo looking to turn, and Reynolds in on the hard sliding challenge. Reynolds out of Leawood, Kansas. Also a St. Thomas high school grad. She'll go Illinois Edwardsville. Really sturdy defender. Also gets it done off the pitch. Humanitarian as the counterattack is on here for Strike FC, supported by Fisher. Schmidt looks to switch fields. Reynolds, as I was mentioning, she gets it done off the pitch as well. She draws the foul against Palo there. Over 100 hours of community service in this past year for Reynolds. Kute up top. Kute with a strike and saved by Lentz. That's exactly what you're taught to do as a striker, finish across the keeper. But Lentz anticipating it, able to make the diving stop. Isidore gets ahead on it. Munt looking to make a run for Strike FC. Rob Lestino over on the sideline for Strike FC, saying that his team needs to do better with their possession than they've showed here in the past few minutes. So about 8 minutes, number 2. 54th minute of play. Equal at 1. between Kansas City Metro Dynamos and Strike FC Premier out of Wisconsin. Both teams without a blemish on their record so far here in the regional. 4-0-0 for Kansas City, 3-0-0 for Strike FC. Dupay looks to switch fields, but the roller has passed Schmidt out of play. There's Zock. Zock plays Munt. Zock nearly had a strike at it, but tapped free at the last moment by Fiorito. Well defended there by Linda Fiorito. The Drake University commit saves a golden opportunity there for Strike FC, but it's out for a corner. Fiorito has played soccer, a two-time state champion in the high school ranks at Blue Valley Northwest. He's the captain of that Blue Valley Northwest team. And obviously a ton of success with this Kansas City Metro Dynamos club. The corner's played in and headed out of the air by Roberts. Dumped back in and headed out by Dodd. Some physicality there by Roberts, and now Kansas City on the counter with Fisher. She plays simply to Roberts, who looks down the line on a sliding challenge, but can't save it from going out of play. Kute. Fisher. Prodzinski on the receiving end. It's headed out for a corner. Seen Fisher working that right flank. As again, she'll go to Ball State University next year, where she'll join her sister Abby Fisher. So the Fisher duo play for Craig Robertson, Muncie, Indiana next year. Really an interesting tie between Strike FC and Abby Fisher, as the corner played in and Roberts nearly gets ahead on it. It's back out for Sullivan and awarded a throw instead of a corner. As the interesting tie between both Kelsey Fisher and the Strike FC team is head coach Rob Listina for Strike FC, coaching here in the Wisconsin area. On his U19 teams, coaches Allie Kowanowski, also her first year at Ball State University. Kelsey Fisher will be Allie's teammate next year. So Rob Listina getting a chance to take a look at one of his own players' future teammates at the college level next year. As head coach Derek Shore also trains Abby Fisher, the older sister of Kelsey, during the summer. Palo down the line for Zock. Reynolds clears and wins the throw for Kansas City. Isabel Kurzban still being tended to by the training staff, as they're taking a closer look at it right now on the sidelines. There's a chance here as Munt nearly put it in the back of the net off her head. but couldn't get her body angled enough to get it on goal. Mont very dangerous up top, a verbal commit to Iowa State. Still has a year left at the high school ranks as she'll graduate in the class of 2016. But we've seen her create several chances this weekend for a Strike FC team that has produced 11 goals. Rob Listina on the Strike FC sideline, begging for his forwards to show to the ball a little bit more. Prodzinski for Roberts. Roberts looking and nearly finishing it is Holmes, but it's deflected free by Lentz just before it can cross the line. Roberts slices back toward the near post, and it's cleared by McCourt. Dodd boots it back in. Prodzinski looking to stay onside. Couttet in deep. Couttet with the shot, and Lentz. Another diving stop. Lentz has been dazzling here in the second half. A couple of half chances from Kansas City, as Schmidt is shaken up at left back for Strike FC. So Natalie Schmidt comes out. Catherine Schmidt comes in to play left back. She comes off in her own power, just drinking some water over on the sidelines. Just looking to shake off the cobwebs a little bit. Strike FC played in the regional final as U15s. It's the farthest that their club has ever been. Came up short, but that was the same core back when they were U15s. So they're looking for redemption here today. We're equal at 1. Here's we play in the Vento on a run here. Sawinski wins the 50-50, but can't connect with her left fullback, Schmidt. Look. 63rd minute. We're knotted at 1. Both of these teams an equally contested match so far. Dodd on the throw. Prodzinski for Fisher, and stuffed by Schmidt. Well, again, the positivity continues from the sideline for Kansas City as Derek Shore saying, it's all us right now. Disador. Shipped on, a lot of congestion there in the corner. Now back toward the middle for Coute. Cross. Nearly ahead by Holmes, but it's over the outstretched arms of Lentz. We play here in the 65th minute. These teams' destinies not yet sealed as we're even at 1 with a chance to advance on to nationals. A Region 2 championship on the line here. For Strike FC, a chance to do that for the first time in club history. Kansas City wants to make it back-to-back appearances at nationals. Kansas City, a very storied club, has won 5 of the last 6 state cups in the state of Kansas. It's a very talented core of players. Roberts heads it out of the air. Now Kansas City looks to counter, but Strike FC keeps it in the attacking third. Prodzinski switches fields. It's on for Reynolds. Back to the central midfield for Holmes. And a hard challenge there. Takes 2 arms and shoves Roberts to the ground. Played quickly by Sullivan. Prodzinski with a chance for a cross. Roberts is there, but can't volley it home. Now Zock plays a through ball for Munt. Munt is in on goal. Munt with a chance here. Saved by Carpenter. And the danger is cleared for Kansas City. An excellent save as clearing her line was Carpenter. And Munt not the chance for Strike FC. Their best chance in the second half is stalled due to incredible goalkeeping of Carpenter. Strike FC really found their groove over the last 2 weeks in training for the regional. Started to play their best soccer. Talking to Coach Listina yesterday, not as he said it, told me that this is the healthiest his team has been all season long. Here's Holmes with a shot. Far post, and it skids off the crossbar. Coach Listina for Strike FC also coaches the U19s for FC Waukesha. This Strike FC Premier team and the Waukesha U19 group leading up to regionals for both groups. Had a chance to scrimmage each other, and obviously being at the U18 level for the Strike FC team benefited greatly from challenging themselves with a team a year older. Clearing her line again is Carpenter, continuing to be aggressive off her line. She had been a little bit more timid on the Marin Munt chance just moments ago. It's likely a different outlook on this game, but instead it remains even at 1. Paolo with a strike from distance. A good thought, but it's out for a goal kick. '70th minute of play as we remain equal. Kansas City last season mentioned that they went. They did lose in the regional final to NSA, but due to their performance in the National League, they were able to clinch a berth in Nationals anyway. As the flag goes up, and offsides is Kute. Chase Ream to midfield to check in, a substitution for Strike FC as Paulo comes out. Ream over on the right side. We'll head up to Minnesota to play her college soccer in the fall at Winona State University. She's typically used in that role as that ball is dumped over the top. An easy opportunity for Lentz as the goalkeeper. Ream used in a similar role yesterday, though, as Zock got hurt. She came in early in the first half. We've seen her in both halves here today. Subbed in at about the halfway point. Roberts, dangerous here, but can't find the frame.
That's way too close in.
Surely Roberts disappointed there to not have a better showing. Wins it out of the air there as Kute. Fisher. Cross in. Prodzinski scores! Her second of the match, and Kansas City leads 2-1. Brooke Prodzinski pushes Kansas ahead, and they lead here in the 72nd minute. Set up off the cross by Fisher. There was a the net, but Prodzinski able to get her right foot on it for her second goal here in the game. So now Strike FC once again faced with the challenge of attempting to equalize. And energized right now is Kansas City. You see Roberts playing with pace. Looking for more. Here's Kute, just in the nick of time, Lentz off her line. Brooke Prodzinski, the story so far for Kansas City. The Olathe, Kansas native, two-time All-State selection in the high school ranks at Olathe South. Missouri State University next year. They're getting a forward with the nose for the ball. Again, where she was so dangerous just moments ago. Isn't able to save it. It's out for a goal kick. Derek Shore over on the sidelines for Kansas City, urging his girls to go for a third. Surely a third would break the will of Strike FC. They want to equalize. They have to defend a set piece here. '75th minute of play. It's 2-1 Kansas City. A hard challenge there from Schmidt. And this is on the edge of the penalty area. Cute is down. She's shaken up, surrounded by her teammates as we await the call. A yellow card on Schmidt is assessed. It's our first booking of the day. Goes on Catherine Schmidt, a very physical player, just on the edge of the penalty area. So Strike FC able to dodge devastation momentarily, but still a good chance for Kansas City to net their third. Roberts to take the set piece. Right on net, and Lentz has no issues. Lentz, despite allowing 2 goals, has been spectacular in net for Strike FC. Loyola University of Chicago. Also the goalkeeper for Catholic Memorial High School here in Wisconsin. So we move on to the later stages. Toward the 80-minute mark, you have to believe that the high press from the forwards of Strike FC will likely be in play as we move toward the finish line. Here's Vento. She equalized once today, but won't have a chance here. Schmidt, hard challenge there by Prodzinski. And it's out for a throw to Strike FC. Cleared by Disador. Schuler settles. Now Ream. Vento tackled by Holmes, but able to stick with it. Vento with a rip. Far post it goes and saved by Carpenter. Carpenter, a little bit of a delay as Vento didn't get all of it on this strike. Carpenter still with a fully extended dive to push the ball wide. Now on the counter, it's Coute, and she's shoved by McCourt. But the foul goes against Coute. Both girls being very ambitious there. But ultimately, Coute, the more physical in the encounter. And Strike FC not able to maintain possession. Two to one, Kansas City Metro Dynamos the Kansas State Cup champions. Lead Strike FC out of Wisconsin here in the 80th minute. Intercepted by Dodd. A whistle and a yellow goes against Zock. Has 2 bookings here in the second half against Strike FC. 1 yellow to Zock, another to Catherine Schmidt at left back. So we have a substitution on now. For Strike FC is Olivia Hively. Comes into the match. Anna Hayes leaves the game. The center back is exchanged for a more attacking-minded player. Strike FC now choosing to go with 3 up top. Back. Trying to equalize and keep their season alive. There's Zock. Can she create an angle? Dupay. Here's Fisher with space. Over the top for Coutey, but she can't run onto it. These 2 teams are familiar with each other. The U15 regional they met up as Strike FC victorious 2-1. The inverse of that result is where we stand right now, 2-1 in favor of Kansas City. Also played once in league play this year, the Midwest Regional League. And Strike FC got the best of Kansas City once again by the score of 4-1, but a very different Kansas City team in that game. No Parker Roberts. Also a couple of other members of this Kansas City team playing in the high school ranks for that game. But now Kansas City at full strength. And they lead 2-1. Disador to Roberts. Roberts has a look. A weakly roll to Lentz. Roberts to go to the University of Kansas to play in college, decommitted from Miami, Florida. Tremendous strength on the ball for Roberts. She's had a couple of half chances today, but nothing too legitimate. As carrying the way for Kansas City has been Brooke Prodzinski. And another chance here for Prodzinski. Prodzinski is in, and she sealed it for Kansas City. A hat trick for Prodzinski. Surely that should seal it for Kansas City. As we're here in the 84th minute. Prodzinski puts away her third, one in the second minute, another in the 72nd minute, now one in the 83rd. To tally all 3 goals for Kansas City. The press already on for Strike FC. But they must strike even quickly, more quickly now. Prodzinski very hard to push off the ball up top, and she's used that quality, that 5'11" frame to her advantage today. Talked about the balance for Strike FC. Hasn't been very balanced today for Kansas City. It's been all Brooke Prodzinski. But obviously with her back line and her midfield behind her, they've contributed greatly. Waning moments of this game. There's a chance here for Ream. Ream can't get enough on it, and Bunt not able to flick it on either. So a chance to draw closer here in the later stages for Strike FC. With both Ream and Munt not able to finish in front of the net. Up top for Vento and headed away by Roberts. And Ream knocks it wide. So 5 substitutions on for Kansas City as Coach Derek Shore empties the bench. Also a tactical substitution here as the clock continues to wind and time elapses as 5 new Dynamos enter the pitch. Paige, the sister of the star Brooke today, Brooke Prodzinski with the hat trick. Paige on, Tyler, Emily Griffin, who we saw in the first half, Nicole Hagel, and Kimmy Gleason, the 5 new Kansas City Dynamo. Now can Strike FC put up one last fight with about half the starters of Kansas City now on the bench. Saved there off the angle by Carpenter. Carpenter has been sure-handed today. Few bobbles. Only one has seeped through for a goal off of Strike FC. That came back in the 20th minute from McKenna Vento. 3-1. Kansas City leads here in half number 2. 88th minute now. Courtney Schnau and Peyton Simler in for Strike FC. Still only 3 in the back for Strike FC as they look to push forward here, trailing 3-1. Kansas City content to be very compact, keep their shape, and just try to clear out these last few desperate chances for Strike FC. Headed out by Roberts, retreated back into her center back position. We saw that yesterday when Kansas City was up 5-2 on Iowa Rush late in the game. As Coutey with the flag up, the head referee acknowledges the existence of his AR as the flag is up and it's offsides. Coach Shore and Kansas City just moments away from another trip back to regionals. The road to Oklahoma nearly complete. As Disador Plays it down the line. Kute able momentarily to stay on sides, but once again is off. Looked like she was even with that last defender, but the assistant referee didn't think so. Dumped over the top, and again a Roberts volley. Here's Zock fighting for possession. Zock with a look. It's deflected and out for a corner. '90th minute now, and our head referee indicates 1 minute of stoppage time. So Kansas City can sense it now. The cross in, headed out of the air, and it's over the post. Rather over the crossbar, off the head of Dupay. All we are waiting for now is the whistle, the head referee. This Kute looking to put an exclamation point on things for Kansas City. The cross in. Prodzinski is there. And taken away by McCord at the last moment. In the area was Hagel. And there is the final whistle. Your 2015 Region 2 and the U18 group, the Kansas City Metro Dynamos. The final, Kansas City 3. Strike FC coming up just short with 1. As the star of today's game, Brooke Prodzinski with a goal in the 2nd minute, 72nd minute, and 83rd minute to complete the hat trick and the championship for the Kansas City Metro Dynamos. Strike FC comes up just short. A valiant effort from the team from Wisconsin. Did get a tally in the 20th minute from McKenna Vento to equalize, but 2 second-half goals pushes Kansas City to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Nationals on July 20th. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Tour Bow Sports Group likes to thank Capri Sun, Kohl's, Liberty Mutual Insurance, Mango, Nestle, Nike, Olive Garden, CAA, Sports Authority, and Wilson. We'd like to thank you for your 2015 U18 regional champion here in Region 2. In the U18 division is the Kansas City Metro Dynamos as they move on to Nationals. For Connor Onion and producer Ryan Kislowski, special thanks for Chase Neidig for putting this together here on Tour Bow Sports Group. We invite